There's, I guess, a different approach that you can take when it comes to injuries. Most teams, Bucky Brooks, I would say, like to play the vague route. They don't like to give up too much information.
No.
You know, like most coaches will take the the John Gruden approach. When Gruden was talking about Antonio Brown's feet, which are disgusting, Antonio Brown's feet, who look like he's got.
I don't know. I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, he's got like I like a fake skin on the bottom of his feet, or like a Halloween
the only thing
costume.
I can say is I can tell that Antonio Brown is in training camp mode, because there's no way that a man with a lady is going to be able to lay in the bed with feet like that, with those claws rubbing up on somebody's lower leg.
No kidding me.
Because right away someone will be like, oh, no, we're going to take you right now. We're going to take you to the shop, and you're going to get a pedicure right now.
It looks like he's got a pastrami sandwich on the bottom of his feet. It's disgusting. Yeah, it's gross. It's nauseating, but it is a cryotherapy issue, I guess. He didn't wear the right protectant in the cryotherapy.
No, so when you go to cryo, have you ever done cryo?
I have never done it, but I've heard it's nice.
It is awesome, but the thing about cryo is you can't have any moisture anywhere. Like if you have any moisture, you're subject to frostbite. So having done it, they will put you in these little booties that are almost like Ugg boots that you have to put your feet in. You have to be covered up. Your head is outside of the contraption. And then you have like little gloves on. And so if Antonio Brown went in and didn't have the proper like footwear, and if he has some moisturizer, like he has some moisture, he was going to be prone to get frostbite. And that's evidently what he did. He didn't go out there properly attired. And so he suffering the consequences.
Yeah, and so John Gruden, in talking about that, said, quote, he didn't want to get into the exact nature of the injury. All right, now, he doesn't have to get into the exact nature of it. All I know is this. When you see the team doctors and then you go and see a foot specialist, clearly you're either not seeing eye to eye or it's a little bit more serious than what was let on. Well, apparently he's gone and seen a second foot specialist, or at least seen the same guy twice. So either he wasn't happy with what they said, or it's still an issue. This feels like it's a little more severe than what we initially thought. We can make all the jokes we want about, what his feet look like and all that, but this feels like this could be a problem, and I would not be surprised if the missing a season opener, or at least being less than 100% is a real possibility.
Yeah, because you're talking about things that are essential for a wide receiver. You talk about your hands, but your feet, your ability to make breaks, to make cuts, to create separation, those things are essential. And so for Antonio Brown to be dealing with these kind of issues, it prevents him from developing a rhythm. It prevents him from continuing to hone his craft. It prevents him from getting game ready. But I still would be shocked if he's not available for week 1 of the regular season. And better yet, I would be shocked if he's not only available for week 1, but he's not like all-pro ready to dominate in week 1. I just feel like they'll find a way to kind of get it done.
Now, there was a guy, Cordova. I want to say his name was Marty Cordova. Years ago was in, I know he was drafted by the Twins. He might have been a member of the Baltimore Orioles at the time, but he had to miss games because he sat in the tanning bed for too long and his face got burnt. Right? So is this worse than that? Is it more manly to get burned or get frostbitten in a cryotherapy or in a tanning salon?
Well, the tanning salon would be the bigger issue. Like cryo, at least he's trying to rehab. He's trying to recover. He's trying to do things that are for the game. The tanning salon?
I mean, come on.
That has nothing.
Come on, Bucky.
Nothing to do with improving your game.
Depends on what game we're talking about.
Yeah,
okay, good. I'm clear on that. Listen, you want a little bit of color. It makes the sight lines look a little bit better. The shadows are easier to see. I think some people you got to take a different strategy. Now that being said, so we've seen John Gruden, very vague, keeping the approach that we're all used to. John Lynch, the GM of the San Francisco 49ers, in talking about Nick Bosa's ankle injury that was suffered at training camp, he just kind of let it all fly.
It's a significant ankle sprain. There's that dreaded high ankle sprain. He doesn't have a full-blown one, but it has some components of that. So as for timing, it's safe to say we won't see him in the preseason, and then we're going to be very prudent. We don't feel he is injury prone. I mean, he had a core muscle deal in his last year at college, and he took that year and decided to get healthy. Yesterday he had a big human being fall on his leg while he was engaged with someone else. So some of those things you just can't. That's football. But we're thrilled with what we have in Nick Bosa. We're going to get him right, and he'll be a great player for a long time in this league.
I mean, I love the honesty. I love that he's willing to share all of that. That was courtesy of KNBR, by the way, John Lynch, GM of the 49ers, talking about Nick Bosa. But is it too early? I want to ask a couple of questions. One, is it too early to say Nick Bosa is injury prone?
Now you are what you are. I mean, like his history suggests that he has been an injury-prone guy. And I think one of the things that we have to look back at this scouting process, and all scouts will do this, we kind of gave him a pass because he only played 3 or 4 games his final season at Ohio State. And we just assumed that the flashes that we saw, that he was going to pick up where he left off and he was going to be a guy that could come in and dominate. And look, man, sometimes, man, guys who have been hurt or stay hurt, they're always hurt. And so his inability to be available is beginning to be problematic.
Right.
And so, I don't know. We'll see. But they invested a high pick in a guy that they thought was going to be around and be a dominant player. And so we'll see if he's able to live up to the expectations that come along with that.
It's like, listen, it's why I'll defend guys like Eli Manning and Dak Prescott. You could say whatever you want about their skill set. You can look at maybe some numbers from here to there. You know what they are? You can count on them every single game. They're durable and they're going to play every single game. And that's part of Dak Prescott's, I think, what gives him some value is the fact that unlike a Carson Wentz, Dak Prescott suits up every single game. He's there every single game at quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. So at least you're getting him there under center each and every game. The other thing I'll ask you is this. When somebody is that willing to share information like John Lynch was, to me that seems like it might be some good news in that if it was that serious, I don't think he would have shared that much information. Maybe this is just maybe it's a new approach. Maybe he's trying the honest route, but I always kind of take a step back and go, I don't know. That doesn't seem like a normal conversation for a GM to have, so comfortable in talking about these specific details of not only an injury, but how the injury happened and where the injury is located. It just so I would say that I doubt that it is as serious as John Lynch was leading on.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like that. It seems like they're fine. They just want to get him to week 1 and allow him to be a guy that can jump in the starting lineup and impact the game. But you still have to be concerned that the guy has been kind of beat up and nicked a little bit. You would like, you'd like to see him play. You would like to see him out here. You'd like to see him kind of continue to develop the chemistry and continuity that he needs to have with his teammates. But you have to wait and see because these injuries do occur. You just don't like the pattern that you're seeing with him.